Hello students, now I am going to discuss with you the short story An Angel in Disguise. Short story number 6, page number 77. Idleness, vice, and intemperance had done their miserable work, and the dead mother lay cold and still amid her wretched children. Now there is a setting in the hut where because of the bad temper, because of the bad habits, bad nature, or no good work or miserable condition, there is a body of dead mother died because of these bad habits, and near her children are there. She had fallen upon the threshold of her own door in a drunken fit and died in the presence of her frightened little ones. She died in the presence of her little one when she came in a drunken fit and fell down on the threshold, means opening near the door, or a step on the door. She fell down and died when in the presence of her children, because she was drunk. She had bad habits of drinking, doing bad work, bad nature, and that is why she died. Death touches the spring of or common humanity. This woman had been despised, scoffed at, and angrily denounced by nearly every man and woman and child in the village. Death touches the spring of common humanity, means everybody died in society, every human died, but this woman had been ignored, or nobody loved him, nobody cared him. Every woman, man in or child in the village, everybody has left him, oh sorry, left her. Everybody had ignored her. But now, as the fact of her death was passed from lip to lip, the news of her death went from lip to lip. In the subdued tones, pity took place of anger, sorrow of denunciation. Now everybody, those who were angry with her, now they were feeling pity for her. The news of her death went one person to another person. Everybody was feeling pity for her, and now they were saying words of sorrow, word of sorrow for her. They were feeling bad for her. Neighbors went hastily to the old tumble-down hut. Hurriedly, in a hurry, they went into the hut of that woman, in which she had secured little more than a place of shelter from summer heat and winter cold. Now, the hut was only for a little place in the hut, just to save the children or herself from the winter and the cold. Some with the grave cloth for a decent interment of the body. Interment here means for the burial of the body. Some with food for the half starving children, three in number. Now the woman had three children. Now these are the things which people brought to her when she died. Some brought the things to bury her, some brought the food or clothes for her children, and she had three children. Of these, John, the oldest, a boy of 12, was a stout lad, able to earn his living with any farmer. The eldest one was the boy, 12 years old, and was a strong boy. He was able to work with any farmer. That means after the death of her mother, she could earn, after the death of his mother, he could earn living for him. Kate, between 10 and 11, was a bright, active girl out of whom something clever might be made. Now, after the boy, there was a girl who was between 10 and 11. She was also active girl, and if she would be in good hands, if somebody treated her in a good way, she could be a very good girl for that person. But poor little Maggie, the youngest, was hopelessly diseased. The little one, the youngest child name was Maggie. She was suffering from some disease. 2 years before, a fall from a window had injured her spine, and she had not been able to leave her bed since, except when lifted in the arm of her mother. 2 years before, she fell from a window, and there was an injury in her spine, and after that she was not able to get up from her bed, only without help. Only when somebody helped her, she could be able to get up. Now, the thinking of the people about the mother, why did she die, why people left her, and when they listened the news of her death, how did they come to the hut, and what did they bring, name of the children, their age, and especially the third child Maggie, and the reason behind her disease or the fall. What is to be done with the children? That was the chief question. Now everybody who came, they were thinking that what should be done with the children because their mother is dead. The dead mother would go underground and be forever beyond all care and concern of the villagers. But the children must not be left to starve. After considering the matter, now everybody was thinking that what could be done with the children because the mother is dead. Now nobody would be there to care them. Now they should not be left behind. Something should be done with them. After considering the matter, talking it over with his wife, Farmer John said that he would take John and do well by him. Now, John is a farmer who, after talking with her wife, decided that he would take the eldest son John with him. Was out of the way. Now, the matter of John was out of the way, and Miss Alice, who had been looking for a bound girl here means the girl who would work with her day and night and would also stay with her. Now she was looking for that kind of a girl, concluded that it would be charitable in her to make a choice of Katie. Now she decided to take a Katie with her because that charitable means profitable or beneficial for the both, for Alice and Katie, for the both. Even though she was too young to be much used for several, she was between 10 and 11. She needed to learn the work, so for several years she would take. But after that, she would be very useful for Mrs. Alice. I could do much better, I know, said Mrs. Alice. But as no one seems inclined to take her, I must act from a sense of duty to expect to have a trouble with the child. For she is an undisciplined thing, used to having her own way. She said now nobody is ready to take her. So she is ready to take her. Either she know that the child is very undisciplined. She is talking about Katie, that she is very undisciplined, and Mrs. Alice had to work a lot on her behavior, but still she is ready to take her. Now the important thing, who took the eldest son and why? Who took the daughter Katie and why? Now come to the third child. But no one said, I will take Maggie. Pitying glances were cast on her van, and wasted from thought were troubled on her account. Now because she was a deceased child, bedridden child, cannot get up without the help, so nobody was ready to take her. Everybody was looking at her, thinking of her, but nobody was ready to take her. Mothers brought cast off garments and, removing her soiled and ragged clothes, dressed her in a clean attire. Now these were the things which the neighbors brought for the dead body and for all the children. But these are the things which are specially brought for Maggie. Rag clothes, useless clothes, and they cleaned her. They removed the dust or dirt from her bed and made her wear the neat and clean clothes. The sad eyes and patient face of the little one touched many hearts and even knocked at them for the entrance, but none opened it to take her in who wanted a bedridden child. Everybody was feeling pity, everybody was looking at her, but nobody was ready to take her. Nobody entered into the hut by saying that he or she is ready to take her because she was the bedridden child, she was the deceased child.